Good evening, you're watching To The Point. Let's begin with the news break that's coming in. Congress has now confirmed outside support for Omar Abdullah. Congress's Jammu Kashmir president has told India today, we have taken a moral stand. Tariq Hamad Kara says our intention is not to haggle for power but to pressurize central government to restore full statehood. We will support Omar government from the outside and not be a part of the government. We want that democracy should be restored in true essence and full statehood be given. Any other change of stand can be thought about in the future. All of this, viewers, is taking place at a time when there's intense speculation that talks between the NC and the Congress hit a dead end, with the Congress wanting more than one cabinet berth that was offered by the NC. The NC been very clear that with 6 MLAs, the Congress could at best ask for just one cabinet berth in this alliance, and speculation suggests and sources suggest that the Congress wanted more. But the Congress now saying that we were not sidelined, we were not, this wasn't a haggling exercise, this was moral high ground. We want to support the government from outside because our focus is to restore full statehood. All of that taking place, viewers, while Omar Abdullah was sworn in today as the first Chief Minister of Naya Jammu and Kashmir. Or what we mean by that, the first Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir as Union Territory. Take a look.
I, Omar Abdullah, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established.
Omar Abdullah takes oath as the first Chief Minister of Naya Jammu and Kashmir, marking his return to power after nearly 16 years. This will be the National Conference leader's second tenure as Chief Minister, but the first since the abrogation of Article 370 and the removal of J&K's statehood. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha administered the oath of office and secrecy to Omar and his ministers. 5 ministers took oath alongside Omar, 4 from the National Conference and 1 independent.
And that I will do right to all manner of people.
Ahead of the ceremony, Omar reiterated his government's commitment to restoring Jammu and Kashmir statehood.
Being a Chief Minister of a Union Territory is a different matter altogether. It has its own challenges, but I hope that the status of a Union Territory is a temporary one. We look forward to working in cooperation with Government of India to resolve the people's problems, and the best way to do that would be to start by restoring statehood to Jammu and Kashmir.
Surinder Chaudhary, a prominent National Conference leader from the Jammu region, is the new Deputy CM.
नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस वो जमात है, वो पार्टी है जिसने हमेशा करके दिखाया है। आज नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के सामने एक बहुत बड़ा एक ऐसा माहौल हमें दिया गया है जहां 10 सालों का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का और आम आदमी का गैप है। पहले तो हमें सबसे पहले वो जो आम आदमी और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के बीच में जो गैप है उसको फुलफिल करना है।
National Conference chief and father of the newly elected Chief Minister, Farooq Abdullah, expressed optimism that New Delhi would assist in the smooth functioning of the new government.
अल्लाह करे कि सरकार चले, दिल्ली मदद करे और यहाँ के लोगों की मुश्किलात दूर करे. And I hope this government will do what it had promised in the election manifesto.
India Alliance leaders Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Akhilesh Yadav, Supriya Sule and others attended the swearing-in ceremony. The Congress hasn't joined the new government and has given Omar Abdullah outside support. Congress MLAs opted to skip the oath. This has sparked speculation of a rift between the National Conference and the Congress. Sources tell India today the Congress's demand for 2 cabinet berths was rejected by the National Conference, which only offered 1.
उनको मुबारकबाद देने के लिए यहाँ आया हूँ। हमारे को बड़ी खुशी हो गई। हमारी अलायंस पार्टनर के नेता ने आज चीफ मिनिस्टर बना। बहुत दिन के बाद डेमोक्रेसी यहाँ एस्टैब्लिश हुई है।
Political leaders from the valley welcomed the formation of the new government.
बहुत सालों के बाद जम्मू कश्मीर को एक अपनी सरकार मिली और जो मैंने पहले भी कहा कि 2019 के बाद जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को बहुत जख्म लगे हैं। बहुत मुश्किलात से जम्मू कश्मीर गुजर रहा है, बड़े चैलेंजेस हैं इस सरकार के सामने और बहुत अच्छा है कि लोगों ने एक मेजॉरिटी दी इस सरकार को, इस अलायंस को।
My all the best wishes for Umar Sahab and let us hope that he will fulfill his agenda. He will try everything to fulfill his agenda. And let me also hope that Modi government will provide full support to Umar Saab, because the issues of Jammu and Kashmir are much bigger than our personal interests, than our ego, than our political agendas.
The principal opposition party, the BJP, called upon the National Conference government to address concerns of Kashmiri Pandits.
जम्मू के साथ नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की सरकारों में और कांग्रेस की सरकारों में बहुत भेदभाव हुआ है। धर्म और जाति के आधार को छोड़ करके अगर सही तरीके से सरकार बनाने का काम करेंगे तो स्वाभाविक बात है कि केंद्र की तरफ से पूरी सपोर्ट रहेगी।
With Mir Fareed in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so that is how the day ensued. Just a short while back, you have an official statement coming in from the Congress suggesting that we wanted to support the NC government from outside. We didn't want to be a part of it. Our motive is to establish full statehood, taking the high moral ground. Was it really so? Because sources detail a very different story, viewers, suggesting that the Congress wanted 2 cabinet berths. They were given only 1, or offered only 1 from the National Conference at the cost, because they only had 6 MLAs, and the NC had 42, and that didn't go down very well with the Congress. What's the true story? What they sidelined or high moral ground? Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Onika Mehrotra, National Spokesperson, Congress; Ifra Jan, Spokesperson, National Congress. Cutting across to the Congress spokesperson first. Onika Mehrotra, what is the true story? Because what seems to suggest is that you wanted 2 cabinet berths despite getting only 6 MLAs where Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. You were denied the 2, said take 1. You said no thank you, support from outside, and now you are pretending to take the high moral ground, suggesting that we only wanted to support the government from outside. If that was the intention, why was this alliance even brokered? You could have fought this election independently and then support the government from outside.
Preeti ji, unlike the BJP, there's never a pretense while the Congress has any agenda. There are never jumlas. The Congress works very honestly and ensures that the people of Jammu Kashmir are in safe hands. People of Jammu Kashmir get the rights that they deserve. And that is why our agendas are very clear when we fought the elections. Today, the priority is that this beautiful state like Jammu and Kashmir has been deteriorated to union territory. So our first focus is that at any cost, the statehood of the people of Jammu Kashmir should be restored. And that is the main motive, and there are no pretense, there are no sideline stories, no matter what your sources or haywires might say.
Forget about sources. Onika Mehrotra, forget about sources. Answer a very basic question. Politics is not charity. Politics is politics. You fight an election to get into governance and to make changes for the betterment of the people. That is what it really boils down to. It's not charity where you fight an election to have 0 stake in governance. You don't do that. So why here?
Preeti ji, neither is politics charity, neither is it jumla. It is for the people so that we can work for the benefit of it. Remember that, when we put in our manifesto, we spoke about the haq of Jammu Kashmir. We spoke how the domiciles were given to outsiders. We spoke how, there was youth were unemployed.
Fair
how
point.
much of drugs were, pumped in, and how the LG's misrule was taking place. And hence, we are thankful to the Supreme Court that the, election have taken place after 10 years. And that is
Onika Mehrotra, as I bring in Sanju Verma, now tell me something. For the people who have voted you in Jammu and Kashmir, the true essence of that would have been when you are a part of governance, where you have cabinet ministries and you effect the changes that you promised and not support a government from outside. That is exactly how you deliver on your promises. All right, you can shake your head, ma'am. I'll come back to you.
You mean to say that just a tagline of a minister will suffice? No.
Ma'am, how does governance happen? Governance happens.
What do you mean by a suffice of a cabinet?
I'll tell you what I mean.
What happens ahead? How do you know?
Ma'am, you can choose to attack me, but it's not what I mean. I'll tell you what I mean. Anyone fights an election to be part of governance to deliver to their people.
My intent is not to attack you at all. My intent is to put forth the exact fact of the matter, what has happened in Jammu and Kashmir. I was posted there for the last 20-25 days. So I know exactly how you're working on the ground for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So it's not and the post is still vacant.
Ma'am,
What
okay,
happens
let
next?
me say this. Let me say this.
BJP,
If
what
tomorrow
has BJP
in
done?
Maharashtra, are you going to be, and I'll get in Sanju Verma, I'm coming to you, but I just want to put this question out there. You can think about it. In Maharashtra tomorrow, can you say that even though you're fighting it in alliance, you don't want to be chief minister, you will support the government if you come to power from outside, because that's what you want to do? Because you have, that's the essence of true politics. It's not, ma'am. I'll come back to you. Ponder over that question. Ma'am, allow me to open up the panel. Ponder over that question. Sanju Verma, to pull you in on this debate. Today, Ms. Verma, the BJP should be happy because even though, the NC has one formed government, but in terms of representation, because that is what the mandate told us, that there were two very different sides of the story and two extreme mandates that came out. One diametrically different in Jammu and in the Jammu region, and the other from Kashmir. The sheer fact that it's happened in your term where you've had a deputy representing Jammu and a Hindu face, but today the NC has done that. So something is truly changing where Kashmir is concerned.
Preeti, thanks for having me over. I did not interject the Congress spokesperson. I will just make a couple of points because, she tried her level best to digress from the pertinent questions that you put forth, but she could not give a coherent answer. And I don't blame her because she's sitting here to defend the indefensible. Please keep quiet. I did not interject you.
She's not talking to you. Ma'am, she was addressing the camera person.
Ma'am, you can't.
Let's not get into any personal attacks. Let's all take a deep breath. Nobody is commenting on each other. Let's just get Sanju Verma.
Have some
Go ahead,
please. Sanju
Sanju Verma, make your point.
Don't just go about blurting anything and everything.
Ma'am, don't interject. Can I just get Sanju Verma? Can I just get Sanju Verma? Go ahead, Ms. Verma, make your point.
Thank you, Preeti. Preeti, first and foremost, let's be very, very clear. Your audience needs to know this, that the Jammu and Kashmir election was not only the first in 10 years, but also the first after the historic abrogation of Article 370, which happened in August 2019. That makes it even more relevant to contemporary times. The second and most important point is for the entire Congress cabal and for the other side, which said that, Jammu Kashmir mein to elections will be rigged. Jammu Kashmir elections were held under the glare of Indian journalists, and even foreign diplomats. Point number 3, people said that, Jammu Kashmir elections will be a sham. Participation is not going to be anything much to write home about. And I have the figures with me. Riyasi Rajouri, the voting percentage was more than 70%. In Pooch also more than 73%. In places like Badgam and Gandarbal more than 62%. So the third point is that there was massive voter participation, which is always good news for democracy. But coming to your question about the Congress, and I will just say one thing. She spoke for 3 minutes and she used the word Jumla 3 times. जुमलाबाजी कौन कर रहा है? ये जम्मू कश्मीर की जनता ने कांग्रेस को आईना दिखा दिया है. If the Congress still wants to behave like the proverbial ostrich with its head buried deep in the sand and wants to blame BJP for its own debilitating electoral performance in Jammu Kashmir, good luck to them. I want to say one thing. In Jammu, there are 43 seats and there are 30 Hindu dominant seats in terms of population. Out of these 30 Hindu dominant seats, Preeti, the BJP won 29, which is a strike rate of 97%. The Congress got just 1 seat, which is a strike rate of 3.4% or 2.3%, whichever way you look at it. The limited point I'm making is that the Congress was supposed to be a force to reckon with, but the Jammu Kashmir election was a 2-way horse. One led by the BJP in the Jammu region, the other led by the National Conference in the Kashmir region. And the Congress has been lock, stock and barrel rejected. No, you gave her 3 minutes. Let me just finish. Let me make a couple of more important points.
Your 3 minutes are over and you know it.
Just 20 seconds, Preeti, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say this. People said abrogation of 370 nahi hoga, humne karke dikhaya. People said J&K Reorganization Act will not be amended, humne karke dikhaya. People said the Delimitation Commission will never come to a logical conclusion, humne karke dikhaya. The Delimitation Commission, worked wonderfully well, and most importantly, logon ne kaha election kabhi honge hi nahi Jammu Kashmir mein. Today the cabal which was doubting कि democracy खतरे में है, they have a nice big fat omelette on their faces.
All right. So, fair point. Representation, especially where Jammu is concerned. My question was not about the Congress, ma'am. It was that you should be happy that there was representation given to Jammu, where the BJP had fared very, very well. That was what the question was. But, there's a flip side to it also, Ms. Verma, and we'll come back and address it. If the BJP was that confident, why didn't you fight elections in the valley? You did, because that's what the political landscape of Jammu and Kashmir is, and you have to accept it. I want to bring in Mir Farid, because before we go back to the Congress spokesperson and bring in the National Conference spokesperson as well. Mir, throw some light, Mir. What really happened? Why is it today that Congress finds itself giving outside support and now claiming moral high ground?
Yes, Preeti. In fact, as we have been saying this since morning, that all is not well between the alliance partners. Now, the only meeting that has happened post-results between NC and Congress has been the letter of support that the Congress senior leaders went to Umar Abdullah's house and gave him. Post that, there has been absolute radio silence, no meetings on the power sharing, nothing. And we also know that the kind of performance National Conference had with 42 MLAs, and then they also got support from independents from Jammu. So that obviously tilted the balance in the favor of National Conference. They obviously from their side did not reach out to the Congress. Congress was also silent, considering that it was a lesser partner, a weaker partner with very little elbow room or bargaining power, and they also remained silent. Now, the very first day, the Congress chief dashed to Delhi, got instructions from the Congress High Command, and since they were very silent. Now, there are many reasons for that. Okay. Obviously, one reason it seems is that Congress does not want to be part of this government, which obviously for many is a crown of thorns for the Umar Abdullah government or Umar Abdullah, considering that this is different. This is a new power sharing mechanism with the lieutenant governor having the upper hand. And then you also don't have meeting ground between the alliance partners on sticky issues like 370. Congress goalpost is statehood. NC talks about 370. So it does not want to be seen in a position where the BJP can exploit it pan-India with the pan-India picture. So that also seems to be one reason why Delhi prevailed upon the local Congress to stay away from the government.
Okay, fair point. And, on the other hand, what's also interesting is that Omar has left a few spots vacant. So, later on, if the Congress wants to maybe step down from their moral high ground, they can partake in governance. Ifra Jan, spokesperson, National Conference, also joining us. Ifra Jan, what's the real story? Why do you think the Congress is not part of your cabinet today?
You see, I think Congress pretty much remains a part of India Alliance, and it pretty much remains a part of Jammu and Kashmir National Conference government and this government in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, if you look at the number of cabinet ministers, we have not yet entirely chosen our full ministers. So there are around 4 cabinet ministerial seats that are still there. Rahul Gandhi Saab today, Priyanka Gandhi ji, almost all members of the India Alliance, all of them were there. They witnessed the oath ceremony, and I think that is more than enough. But I think it's one thing. It's one thing to talk about why is Congress not there, why is this thing not there. It's interesting to see that today, for the first time in Jammu and Kashmir, after 6 years, we now have a government and administration that consists of the people of Jammu, that consists of people of Kashmir, that has a deputy chief minister from Jammu. In fact, in the LG government that the BJP government had instated, you would be surprised that we hardly had any senior officers from Jammu and Kashmir. The regions got no representation in senior administrative positions. The region got no representation in even, for example, even the LG who was nominated, the BJP government nominated almost 3 LGs. Not a single LG was from Jammu and Kashmir. So I congratulate the people of Jammu and Kashmir that they now have their elected government. They have people who understand their culture, who understand their roots, and they are now in power. And
well, Ifra, I wish you joined us in time because we're running out of time. I need to go to our other 2 guests quickly and get a word in. Onika Mehrotra, coming to you first. Ifra Jan is saying that, listen, there's still cabinet berths open. Maybe, you can come and you're part of the government. So, maybe you want to rephrase how you began your conversation with that you don't want to partake in governance.
No, not at all. I never said that, Preeti. I said they have still kept it vacant. It's not, as I said, it is not the cabinet birth or something. It is the point that what we have promised the people of Jammu Kashmir, and we have to deliver that. In fact, we urge the BJP also. Come on, give them a statehood. You promised that also. Instead of counting my minutes and seconds, Sanjuji and saying, crap that, she can't answer, she can't do, you peep into your own Giriman actually. So it's time for BJP to come forward and give the people of statehood the Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay.
You have taken it away from them. You should be ashamed of that. 10 years of misrule.
Okay,
Sanju, stop saying Preeti all the time. Let me complete my thing, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, let her complete. Let her complete.
Us, we will
okay,
be
no,
doing that.
Let her complete.
We will. Ma'am, see, 5 years of BJP rule, which they had with PDP, and 5 years of unconstitutional kind of a governor which was ruling the state, and how badly they've handled it. You've seen all the mafias been coming, from sand mafia to so much happening in Jammu and Kashmir. It's high time a government is settled. BJP, let them be scared. I'll repeat. The Jumlebazi can't run. Why did they run from Lok Sabha election, Preeti ji? They should have fought that. Jammu, they had proxy.
Make your point. Okay. Can I get Sanju Verma? She's itching to come back to what you said. Ma'am, go ahead. Your time begins now.
No, Preeti, I'm not itching to come back. I need my time, just like the other panelists need. Please
exactly
don't,
the same time, ma'am. Go ahead.
At me. Yes, please don't take pot shots at the BJP. Though I know you said it lightheartedly. Let me just say this. हिंदी में कहावत है, बड़े बेआबरू होकर तेरे कूचे से हम निकले, बहुत मेरे अरमान निकले, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ कम निकले. The Congress and its spokespersons have still not learned from the debilitating Haryana loss. They were saying if BJP gets even more than 20 seats, हम अपना नाम बदल देंगे. चाहे सूरज वेस्ट में अस्त हो ना हो, ईस्ट में उगे ना उगे, but BJP will not come back to power in Haryana. We created history by being the only incumbent government to come back romping to power in Haryana for the third time consecutively. The Congress needs to look at its own backyard rather than giving integrity certificates. Democracy खतरे में है, संविधान खतरे में है, लोकतंत्र खतरे में है, गणतंत्र खतरे में है. हरियाणा की जनता ने कांग्रेस को उसकी औकात दिखाई है. But now let me say one thing very, very clearly. If you look at the political landscape, Preeti, and you know this very well, over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years, be it I.K. Gujral, be it Deve Gowda, be it Morarji Desai, be it Chandrasekhar, or for that matter, be it VP Singh, ऐसा कोई बचा नहीं जिसे कांग्रेस ने ठगा नहीं. इसलिए यहाँ बैठकर बीजेपी को भाषण मत दीजिए. महाराष्ट्र हारने की तैयारी करिए.
All right, okay, all right, okay, we'll see when that last vote is counted, which will be the 23rd of November. We've run out of time. I wish we could go back to the National Conference spokesperson, but, she joined late. That's it. We're going to end it there. All eyes now, of course, will shift to tomorrow. That is, right before Maharashtra. That is when Nayab Saini, the Chief Minister in waiting in Haryana, is going to take oath there. And after that, of course, the Maha battle, where elections are concerned, Maharashtra.